One of the hardest things you need to do on NoFap is avoiding the chaser effect after a NoFap relapse. In case you're wondering what the chaser effect is, well, it's when you chase more and more orgasm when you relapse on a NoFap streak. When your body senses scarcity, it tends to hoard or binge on the scarce commodity. And since the frequency in which your body has been attuned to orgasming has significantly reduced when you were on NoFap, when you relapse in orgasm, your body will want to binge on orgasm. So, for the typical PMO addict that goes on a NoFap streak of 1 week, 1 month, or even 2 months, after he relapses, he might fall for the chaser effect, and this will result in him binging on PMO for the next 2 months or so. And unfortunately, this binging period will override all the reboots he's been able to achieve during his NoFap months. And this makes getting motivated to try NoFap again really hard. In this video, we'll learn of the 4 ways to get instant motivation to try NoFap again after your relapse so that you won't fall into the chaser effect in the first place. And if you've already fallen into the chaser effect realm, these tips will help you to get out of that funk. But before we get into it, I want you to imagine a world where you can actually stay away from porn and masturbation and gain back control of your financial, relationship, and health goals. What if I tell you that this imagination can become your new reality? No matter how many times you've relapsed in the past, you can actually stop relapsing and get proficient in doing NoFap. But this is only possible if you seek the help you need. And here is a book that has helped thousands of PMO addicts to easily break free from their addiction to porn and masturbation. You can find a link to download the book in the description below. Without delay, these are the 4 ways you can get motivated to get back on the NoFap wagon after a NoFap relapse. 1. Revisit your NoFap whys. There's no better time to revisit what you're doing NoFap than after a NoFap relapse. You need to revisit the goals you wanted to achieve with NoFap in the first place. If the reason why you're doing NoFap is to cure a form of porn-induced erectile dysfunction, you need to ask yourself if the erectile dysfunction has been cured. What did you intend to gain from the NoFap streak that just ended? Have you achieved those NoFap goals? If you're doing NoFap to rewire your brain or to detox from porn, do you think the process is completed? If you're doing NoFap to get a girlfriend, for instance, have you achieved that goal? It's crucial to revisit these goals and remind yourself of the need to get back on the NoFap wagon then and there. At this point, you must review these goals to renew your resolve and your NoFap motivation. I would suggest you get a notebook and title it My Book of NoFap Goals. Anytime you want to start your NoFap, just write the reasons why you need to complete the challenge in the notebook, so that if you eventually relapse, you can just take the notebook and remind yourself of the reasons why you're doing NoFap in the first place. And if you find yourself needing more motivation, you can go to the NoFap community on Reddit or go on YouTube and watch videos like this one, or videos of people that NoFap has changed their lives for the better. On these platforms, you get to see people that have done what you're trying to do and have come out on the other side and are enjoying life more than they did when they were addicted to porn and masturbation. 2. Take a social media break. A monster that usually triggers a lot of people's NoFap relapse is the social media. And not only that, social media can send you spiraling down in the chaser effect hell. There is no bigger dopamine trap out there than social media. Some female social media content creators are aware of this dopamine trap and they use it as their content strategy. This content strategy is often referred to as the thirst trap. I'm talking about the hot models on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter that post half-naked pictures. These contents get your brain to secrete just a little bit of dopamine, just enough to leave you wanting more. And before you know it, you've landed on a porn site and you've relapsed. And before you know it again, you're chasing more and more orgasms. So after your NoFap relapse, a social media break might be just what you need. Taking a social media break helps you avoid the insatiable dopamine that leaves your brain wanting more. And it's even more important if you're the type that ceaselessly browse social media to ease yourself back into doing NoFap by interrupting this dopamine trap. 3. Eat healthy diets and stay hydrated. Your diet is directly linked to your willpower system. The healthier you eat, the easier it is to resist the urge to binge on porn. And apart from resisting the urge to binge, you want your body to quickly recuperate what you've lost in terms of semen nutrients when you relapsed. After you relapse, you might be tempted to eat junk foods, mainly because your limbic system is super active at the moment. But if you drink lots of water and eat healthy foods instead, you'll notice that you'll quickly be able to recover from your relapse and start feeling better as soon as possible. Vegetables and fruits are foods that are packed with a lot of nutrients that can quickly rejuvenate your body after your NoFap relapse. 4. Make a habit of getting out of your house more. Loneliness, depression, boredom all play major roles in the relapse of most people on NoFap. If your relapse was because of either of those reasons, there's a high probability that a pattern might develop. A pattern of binging on porn, Netflix, video games, junk foods again and again and again. And this pattern is usually triggered by the continued loneliness, depression and boredom. After you relapse, you will need to interrupt this pattern. How do you do this, you might ask? Well, you interrupt the pattern by interrupting your daily routine. And if your daily routine involves staying home by yourself a lot, you definitely need to do something different. This is the period a lot of guys hit rock bottom and report even masturbating to porn about 4 times in a day. The simple act of getting out of your room or getting out of your house altogether will interrupt this destructive pattern. Going outside and interacting with other human beings will start making you feel better. So, depending on the time of the day or your current situation, you can go for a walk, you can go hang out with friends and invite them over for a board game or something. This is why having a gym membership or having activities to do outside of your house is a good thing when you are on NoFap. With time, if you stick with these 4 activities I just mentioned, you can get out of the chaser effect funk and be on your way to get back on the NoFap wagon. If you made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Please like, comment and subscribe to this channel for more insightful NoFap videos like this one. I usually make these videos every week and I'm sure you don't want to miss it. See you in the next one.